Hi, I'm Loryan Strant, and welcome to 365 Unplugged. I would use my hands to gesture, but I'm cold. And joined, as always, with
Alistair Pugin, my hands are fine. I have a lot of gestures that make up my hands, and I'm not cold. Well, the sun's out, so as soon as the sun sets, I will be pretty much as cold as you are today, Loryan.
Yeah, well, I could turn the heating on. Actually, the heating is on, but I've just turned it on. So it's been, I think just about 2.5 months since our last episode. So surely we must have a good reason as to why we have been off the, got the hands out, off the air for that long. What have you been up to?
I've actually been doing...
So, yeah, okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. No.
Okay, you went out with paper, right? That's paper. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a delay. Oh, this game is so rigged. All right. So, will Office 365 disappear as a brand? So my argument is the 365 bit, not the Office 365 bit. My premise here is that the talk right now is about Microsoft 365. It's all about Microsoft 365. So yeah, my argument is that, and I wrote a blog post about it, I think a couple of years ago, as we'll slowly start to see the 365 go. So think about, you go to www.office.com now, portal.office.com, outlook.office.com. So my argument is that the 365 will slowly disappear as a brand, as will the 10 in Windows 10, I believe. EMS will hopefully get a better name. And yeah, that'll be it. So Office 365 will just be Office.
I like that idea. I like that idea. I really actually do. And let me explain to you why. We've been speaking to a lot of customers now that we've got these Azure data centers, and hopefully the Office 365 part of that will be available soon. But customers, and not only in South Africa, I've spoken to a couple of US customers as well, they're very confused about Office 365. I go to customers large and small. It's not about the size. I've spoken to insurance firms and I said, no, we've rolled out Office 365. They told me about it. Yeah, well, Office Pro Plus and Exchange.
Yep.
Because it's still got the word Office in it. And I'm finding a lot of organizations are going and saying, well, we've rolled out Office 365. And there's always that pause between Office and saying 365. And that's what they mean. They've moved mail to the cloud. And because they have an identity in the cloud, they can now go in and go to the portal and install applications, or they've pushed it via System Center or whatever, right? Or Intune, or pick one. If they've gone Intune, hopefully they understand a little bit more about Office 365. But for the most part, that's the only workload that they touch, and they think they've rolled out Office 365. So for me, it makes sense that if Microsoft took the word Office out of the productivity stack of their cloud offering, it will be great. Microsoft
took the term 365 out of it, or Office?
Office.
Right. Because I'm losing it there.
So Office 365 infers that, because remember, it's like OneDrive, it's the same thing, right? Is OneDrive the portal, or is it the sync client? Is Office 365 the Office application that gets deployed to your desktop, or is it a grouping of cloud services?
Yeah, that's an absolutely valid question. And then what gets confusing then is the desktop software was, your Office 2013 was when they started introducing in Office 365, was we then had the click to run. And then we've still got Office 2016, Office 2019. but it's been Office 365 Pro Plus as the cloud version of it. So now what you're seeing is when you install Word from the cloud, it shows up as Word Office 365. So I personally think that what we'll probably see is this consolidation of brands. If you look at, I remember when OneDrive was launched, when they had to change from SkyDrive, and SkyDrive Pro, and they changed it to being OneDrive and OneDrive for Business, and to which our rebut was, that's two drives. You've got two drives there, not OneDrive. But you look at the consolidation of that, is that, OneDrive for Business. OneDrive for Business kind of doesn't really exist as a brand much anymore. It's just all referred to as OneDrive. We're seeing Teams replacing Skype for Business. I think what we're seeing is a bit of brand consolidation. You look at Windows 10. We've been running Windows 10 since 2015. That whole 3-year life cycle and OS refresh. What have we had? We've had a number of different builds of Windows 10 since then. So we're kind of, we're on what Service Pack 6, Service Pack 8, effectively, of Windows 10. So that whole model, that 10 thing is gone. I think the 365 was a marketing differentiator that was back then. That was launched in it was June 28, 2011. I was awake at the time. We signed up the first customer in Australia on it. And that's the thing is, I think that's the thing is we don't need the 365 branding anymore. These are Office services. You look at even our own branding. I was one of the first Office 365 MVPs. I then became Office servers and services, and now we're Office apps and services. So I think the 365 goes out the door because Microsoft 365 is the suite. Microsoft 365 is, your device, your identity, your productivity, your security. And you've got Dynamics 365, which is your, I know, Cortana, I know something went wrong. I don't know if you can hear that at all. She's been saying that around random shouts. Then you've got Dynamics 365, which is your CRM, your marketing, your service automation, your field, all these kind of things. So that's things. We've got these silos that are actually multiple stacks of products underneath them. So probably what will happen is we'll see the 365 potentially disappear out of Dynamics. We'll see it disappear out of Office. We'll effectively have, maybe we'll still see it in Dynamics. I don't know. The prediction started off on the Office side. But that's the thing is, I think what ultimately what we're going through is a consolidation of branding and a unification of it.
Think about it this way, right? Version numbers for products is a problem.
Yeah, so, true.
Not that 365 was the problem in the term Office 365, but like you rightfully said, Windows, we haven't seen it. There's no 3-year release cycle. They're talking about changing the GUI now, making it more streamlined and prettifying the Windows 10 GUI. When you look at what they've done with SQL, I suppose on the data platform side, it's always interesting to note. When you go to Azure, there's no version of SQL when you do a managed instance.
Right. Okay.
You can still spin up, you can still deploy SQL 2017 in a virtual machine, but you're not talking about versioning when it comes to where you want to go, which is a managed instance, because you don't have to worry about a license and any of those things, right? SharePoint in Office 365 doesn't have a version number. None of the products in Office 365 has a version number.
True. The desktop apps do have like a build number though. Like if I look at,
they all have build numbers, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at build 1.57.1905.21005.
And that's
so user friendly.
Well, that's just really to differentiate between targeted release, GA, and the other rings that certain people are on, right?
Yeah. So,
same with like Office Insider, right?
Yep.
So if you want an Office Insider build, right, there's no version number because it's Pro Plus. And the only way to differentiate between the features is to actually go, look at the build number and then see if you are on what fast track of the Office Insider.
Yes, it's pretty much the case. I'm on Office Insider Fast, so it's like, what week am I on?
Yeah. And they're doing it with the new Edge client as well. I don't even know what they're calling it. If there's a name, but
well, there's Edge Canary and Edge Dev. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are different.
So I guess I like, well, this was really not contentious discussion at all. We're in agreement that the 365 branding will disappear from Office 365 and it will just fold into
No,
Microsoft
I'm
365.
not. I'm completely and utterly not in agreement with you. I want them to remove the Office out of Office 365.
So it'll just be 365.
Well, give it a different name because Office is the desktop application.
That's my point. It's not. It's the cloud service and the desktop application working together.
No, don't try to un-ink blot people now. Because we've had Office since what? Windows for Workgroups, man.
Since 95.
No, there
Before
was
that was
Office 4.3. There was Office 4.3.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm saying. Since Windows for Workgroups, there was Office. Okay? So you can't go un-ink blot someone. It's only the new people that have never worked with Word, PowerPoint, or...
What are you arguing then after Exchange 2019 and SharePoint 2019, we should have like an Exchange 2024 as well?
No, yeah, I'm saying
it's all Azure. Office, it's all...
There's Azure, which is a group of services. Office 365 must not be called Office 365. Change the Office part.
No, I think it's part of Office.
No,
because the desktop stuff. No, what is design ideas? Who powers that? The cloud.
PowerPoint.
No, the cloud. Office Intelligence Services, Minalytics, so your insights in Outlook. All these things are powered by the cloud. The desktop software is just a shell.
So what are you saying? They might just call it Office. Your
just
office in the cloud instead of Office 365.
No, it's just Office. It's just Office.
Like Azure. Office.
Just Office.
I want to take his 365 off.
Yeah,
like
just Office.
Take it
so I guess we're still in disagreement, and this actually hasn't.
I want them to remove Office from the 365, and you want them to remove the 365. Give it a different name. Call it something else. Be pause, man.
Yeah, let's not go there and what that acronym turned out to be. I think we need to wrap this up because we're talking in circles. We haven't resolved it. You know what? We encourage you, the viewer, to tell us, what do you think Office 365 should be called as? Or what do you think it will be called as? Is it the Office software? Is it the cloud service? Is it both? Is it just desktop
Office
stuff?
Software. Office is for the desktop. It's the client. Good God, man. Inkblot, think about it. I look at Word. What is that part of? Word plus PowerPoint plus Excel makes up Office.
Hey, and does Word connect to LinkedIn without the cloud? No.
But then call it
Word
cloud.
Share files without the cloud? No. Anyway, we're going in circles.
All right, great stuff.
Let's wrap this up here. This has been, well,
another
2
episode.
Months later, we've got our stuff.
Same,
all right.
Different.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.